The AUBIKA Rechargeable Quest 2 grips are finally here. Now, I've been testing these over the past week or so and I've been dying to share my thoughts with you. So in this video, I'll be covering everything you need to know about these grips. I've included timestamps in the description below, and if you're thinking about checking them out or even buying a pair, make sure you go through the link in the description below and use the promotion code VRReviews15 at checkout to get a further 15% off the price. Now, this promotion ends 23rd of October, 11:59 Pacific Daylight Time. So if you are thinking of getting these grips, make sure you get them by then to take advantage of this nice discount. Before we start, full disclosure, I do write for the AUBIKA blog. So every week I provide new articles, content for AUBIKA. But these grips were sent to me to test without any obligations. There was no agreement or pressure from AUBIKA to give these a positive review. So everything you'll see in this video are my genuine thoughts and feelings about these grips. The AUBIKA rechargeable grip covers for Meta Quest 2 cost $32.99 US. And don't forget, if you're interested in getting a pair, go through the link in the description below and use promo code VRReviews15 to get a further 15% off at checkout. And that takes about $5 US off your purchase. But this promotion ends the 23rd of November, 11:59 Pacific Daylight Time. Now let's take a look at the box. Inside the box, you'll receive two grip covers. I also received a charging cable, which was USB-A on one end, and on the other end had dual USB-C connections, so that you can charge both controllers simultaneously. However, that's not the one you'll receive in the box. Mine is a little different because I have an early version. The one you'll see in the box will look like this, with the main difference being that all three connections are USB-C, which means you can put one end into your official Quest 2 charging plug, and then the other two USB-C connections go into the controllers to charge them. You'll also receive a pair of rechargeable batteries and a user manual. The grips themselves are made from a textured black rubber with an adjustable silicone hand strap and a USB-C port on the bottom for charging. The rechargeable nickel metal hydride batteries have a capacity of 1000 mAh that promises around 20 to 24 hours according to the product page. In the manual, it actually says it can last up to 28 hours, and that's because how long the battery lasts can really depend on what games you're playing. But AUBIKA's own internal testing showed that the rechargeable batteries can last up to 28 hours. So 20 to 24 hours is more of a conservative estimate. And the dual USB-C cable has a quality braided feel. I really like these braided cables. They're very flexible and feel premium. They've also been quite generous with the amount of cable, being over 1 meter in length, meaning you have plenty of slack to play with. But like I said before, the one I've got here is a bit different to the one you'll receive in the box. The one you'll get in the box is this one here. It has 3 USB-C connectors, but as you can see, it's still a braided cable and it's still quite long, so it's very similar to the one I've got here. Now, fitting the grips is super straightforward, and the user manual clearly takes you through each step. So first, just take off the original battery cover and replace the battery with the rechargeable one provided. Now, the rechargeable battery is as easy to insert as a regular AA battery, and their design means they only fit one way around, making it impossible to put them in the wrong way. Then gently push and wiggle the cover over the controller until you hear it click, before finally securing the 2 button and loop fasteners at the top, which will help keep the cover in place. And that's it. So all in all, it took me around a minute to fit each grip, and they were just as easy to remove as they were to install. You then plug the 2 USB-C connectors into both controllers. This flashing red light showed me that the controllers were charging, and after about 6 hours, the red light remained solid, showing that the batteries had been fully charged. Now, after charging the controllers and booting up my Quest 2, I did notice the controller batteries were showing as less than 100% charged, even though they had just undergone a full charge cycle. However, the user manual does explain that this is normal and the battery should still last around 28 hours regardless of what the charge indicator shows. I then took the grips through their paces, playing some of my most favourite and intense Quest titles. My testing regime included games like Beat Saber, Fit XR, Until You Fall, and Blacktop Hoops. Now, each play session involved a lot of controller swinging, button mashing, and copious amounts of sweat. The controllers felt snug and secure in my palm after a little adjustment of the hand strap. The soft, textured lines of the grip worked in concert with the supple silicone hand strap to keep my palm firmly but comfortably grasped to the controller even when working up a sweat. I did have to play around with the position of my hand a little bit within the hand strap at first to properly align my fingers with the controller buttons, but after a little experimentation I managed to get my hands in a position where they felt just right and could comfortably reach the controls. During testing, I threw virtual basketballs as hard as I could with my grip open. I swung my arms around excessively and just about did everything I could to get the controllers to slip out of my hands. And I'm pleased to report that nothing was broken in the process, as the controllers stayed firmly in my hands despite my best efforts. Now, as a point of comparison, I did revert back to using the original controllers without the grip just to compare the differences, and it was like night and day. The smooth plastic of the controller felt slippery in my palms and got even worse when exercising, making it a relief to switch back to the AUBIKA grips. So overall, the grips did a great job, but there were some drawbacks, although I didn't find too many, just a few small nitpicks to be aware of. So the first thing, unsurprisingly, they add a little bit of weight to each controller, which isn't much at all, but still something to consider. Another small point to note is that the cord used to tighten the hand strap can flap around when moving the controller vigorously. This happened to me a few times when swinging the controllers fairly violently, and was something that could cause a minor distraction during play. Thankfully, I managed to solve the issue just by twisting the cord and looping it around the base of the grips. Another potential drawback was there was no built-in safety wrist strap or a place to connect your existing one. Now, this wasn't an issue for me personally, as I typically do not play with the wrist strap, and the controllers felt completely secure in my hands with the grips installed, but it would have been nice to have had the option. Now, if the wrist straps are important to you, I found that it was possible to tie the wrist strap to the grip's hand strap and use it that way, so you can still do that as a workaround if you like to use the wrist strap in combination with the grips. Now, one final thing which I'll talk a bit more about next. While the grips fit comfortably for me, it's important to see how they work for different hand types. So my hands measure about 3.54 inches in width across the palm and 7.87 inches in length. That's from the tip of my middle finger down to the crease of my wrist. This means my hands are a little above average in size for a male, so if you fall in or around that category, then they should fit perfectly fine. Now, the grips should also have no problem fitting someone with much larger hands than mine, as I found there was a lot more capacity to make the hand straps larger when I was wearing them. I then went in search of someone with smaller hands to try them out, and my wife volunteered as the test subject. Now, her hands are 3.14 inches in width and about 6.89 inches in length, which is around average for a female. She had no trouble putting on the grips, and after engaging in an intense session of Beat Saber, reported they felt secure and comfortable. Something to be aware of is that the hand straps can only be adjusted so far, and I wasn't able to try them on anyone with very small hands. I did have someone with extremely small hands, but this little guy's hands were perhaps a bit too small. But overall, the results of my testing showed the grips are suitable for a range of different hand sizes, including larger hands, and they should fit most users quite well. Now finally, as part of my testing, I compared the AUBIKA rechargeable grip cover with another very similar grip, and when I say very similar, these two could be twins. They are so similar in design. They are the same in so many ways, even down to the textured rubber grip. So this is the KIWI design grip cover. And one difference between the two is that the KIWI design grip cover is not rechargeable. There is this little door in the side where you can replace the battery, but it does not come with rechargeable batteries. Now the KIWI design grip does come with these little extra bits and pieces. You have this ring protector cover, you have this extra replacement tightening cord just in case, for example, your one breaks, and you have this bit of padding. And what's that designed to do is if you have very small hands, you can wrap it around the hand grip to just tighten things up a bit. And whilst the KIWI design grips don't have that rechargeable USB-C port in the bottom because it doesn't have rechargeable batteries, it does have a built-in safety wrist strap, unlike the AUBIKA ones. And one final difference I noticed was that the AUBIKA ones were slightly longer, and that was because it needed to have that USB-C charge port in the bottom. So then I went and tested both of these out. I had the AUBIKA rechargeable grip covers in my left hand and the KIWI design grip covers in my right hand, just so I can test them simultaneously while playing a game. And if there was a difference between the two, I didn't notice it. They felt pretty much the same in my hands. And looking at the price of the KIWI design covers, they're at the same price, $32.99. There is a 10% discount on the KIWI design website, but then again, if you go through the link in the description below and use the VR Reviews 15 promo code, you get 15% off of these AUBIKA rechargeable grips. So not factoring in postage here, the AUBIKA rechargeable grips are in fact cheaper when you factor in that discount. But even if the AUBIKA grips were just the same price or even a little bit more expensive, the AUBIKA grips, in my opinion, are still better value than the KIWI design grips. They offer more bang for your buck, because you're also getting the savings and the convenience of having rechargeable batteries in addition to the grips themselves. So to sum up, I've got to say AUBIKA's rechargeable controller grips are the best Quest grips I've used out of the many I have owned over the years. They offer a comfortable and snug fit with the benefit of rechargeable batteries at a very affordable price. I will certainly be using them from now on, and I think once you experience these grips, you won't want to go back to using the Quest controllers without them. And I think I'll leave it there for now, but let me know in the comment section below if you own grips and what grips you do own. And what do you think of these AUBIKA rechargeable grips? Let me know in the comments, always love to hear your thoughts. I hope this video has been helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.